Hello, welcome back. Tactical Tuesday with Johnny Tiger. On July 26, 2022. Sorry, I'm not in uniform. It is really, really hot. It is 82 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I don't know how much that is in Celsius, but probably in the 30s. So yeah, it's pretty hot. I have two fans going on in here, and I be damned if I'm going to get into the heavy martial art gi for the video for today. So anyway, that's okay. Even though I don't look the part, I can still sound like I know what I'm talking about. So quite often when we talk about engaging, blocking, stepping in, even parrying a weapon strike, um, parrying a punch, slipping a punch, you'll hear people refer to talk about enter on the inside or enter on the outside. Now, for people that's been training for quite a while, this is very obvious. You know what this means. But for people who might be new at martial arts, people who might not have experience with martial arts, I want to talk a little bit about that today because I know that sometimes when I say you want to enter on the outside, enter on the inside, and people get a little bit confused, and rightly so, because these are kind of jargon in martial art and fighting. So, in a nutshell, what does it mean when we say enter on the outside or enter on the inside? Okay, here is me facing Bruce, right? So let's say Bruce throw a punch at my face, and I block that punch, and I want to move in to attack or move to a different place. I don't want to stay here because if I stay here, he's just going to keep punching at my face, right? So Bruce is punching with his right hand, so his right arm, which means it's my left side, right? So in this case, if I move to the outside, I would have to move to the left. So I end up beside the shoulder of his punching hand. Okay, moving to the inside would mean I move to my right. So I move across his field of vision. That's moving from the inside. Now, some people will say, yeah, but you can still get to his other shoulder even if you move the other side. And that is very true. However, for him to throw a punch and I move across his field of vision, several things can happen, right? If I throw a punch and you move to the outside, so let's say I throw my right punch and you move to my right, which means your left, so you move outside. For me to hit you, my option is limited, right? I have to maybe step in and throw in a kick, but even that kick have to be really, I have to reach a lot with that kick. So pretty much the only thing I can do is to turn to place you in front of me, right? Now, if you move straight to my side, then maybe I can throw out a side kick, right? But even then, if you stay close enough to me, that side kick is not going to be able to come out. So this is to say, when you move to the outside, when I throw a right punch and you move to my right, I'm almost certainly forced to turn to face you. However, if I throw a right punch and you move to my left, well, my left punch will come out and just hit you, right? Or I can knee you in the groin. Or I can throw a right hook and hit you on the side of the head. Or my left elbow can come in and hit you. Because you move across what we talked about before. You move across the red zone, the most dangerous place, which is right in front of me. This is why moving inside is very dangerous sometimes, right? This is why when I'm training people, you'll hear me say, engage and move to the outside. Always move to the outside, right? Now, this is not to say that there are not times where you want to move to the inside. There are definitely times when you want to move to the inside. And let's talk about that. One of those instances, if I want to move to the inside, is when the person is swinging a long weapon like a stick or a baseball bat, right? Why? Because if I swing a baseball bat and you move to the outside, then I will just swing back and hit you with that, right? But if I swing a baseball bat or a stick and you move to the inside, then you can engage me and place yourself between my body and my weapon. So now it's harder for me to hit you because it's hard, especially with long weapon, hard for me to swing at you when you're this close to me, right? Similarly, this is the same with uh, pistol defense, gun disarm, pistol defense, right? Now, I I said this before. I'm going to keep saying this. Most disarm techniques are very hokey. Most disarm techniques are just uh, for show, really. I mean, uh, yes, I'm not saying that they can't work. They definitely can work, but there's just so much going on when someone pointing a gun at you or a knife at you and stuff like that. You never know if the moment you try to grab that gun, they're going to pull the trigger. You never know if the gun's loaded or not. You don't know if they're going to smash you in the face with a gun, or if they're just going to pull a knife out of their pocket with their other hand. The moment you grab the gun, they're going to stab you, right? There's so much going on. This is why I said disarm techniques, they look really cool, but for the most part, they're really hokey. Uh, they work great in class, and if you're doing it against someone who really don't know what they're doing, then you probably will succeed. But it's the kind of move that you really are placing your life in your own hand. If you work, great. If you fail, you'll get killed, right? Um, Anyway, that's digressing a little bit. So even with pistol defense, right? If I point a gun at you and you grab onto the pistol, you want to come in right at me, and you want to move into the inside, because this way you can access my face, you can punch me and all that stuff, and I am trying to not let go of the gun, right? You don't really want to move to the outside when you want to do a pistol disarm. Why? Because if you move to the outside, if you move outside, first thing is you are not giving me enough pressure. Okay, I don't feel as panicky. If you move to the outside, you're not in my face. You're not in my face. You're over there to my right, right? Which means if you move to the outside, there's a chance of me just throwing this to the other hand and boom, 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 shoot you, right? So yes, there are times when you want to move to the inside rather than the outside. However, most of the time, especially when it's unarmed combat or even with a knife, you want to stay on the outside. Yeah. If I have a knife in my hand and let's say take a stab at you and you block my stab successfully, you do not want to jump in on the inside, because if you're on the inside, which means my knife is most likely behind you, right? Then you are going to get killed this way. So you want to exit to the outside, which you have option to turn around and run, or kick the knife out of my hand if that's your thing, or kick me in the groin, or grab a weapon. And the only way for me to start attacking is to turn to face you, right? So this is why it's so important to know what you're dealing with, right? Most times, you want to engage and enter on the outside and do not cross the person's field of vision, do not cross the center of their body, with a few exceptions that I already pointed out, with a gun or stick. And I talked about this before. If the person is kicking, I throw a right roundhouse kick. Again, if you block that, you want to move to my right. You do not want to move to my left, because if you move to my left, the next kick is going to be even harder. Okay, not to mention now you not only have my right leg to worry about, now you have my left leg to worry about. So now the question is, how do you pick a side? How do you pick? Let's say the person punching in straight to your face. How do you know? Okay, always figure out which way is the quickest way to get to the person's shoulder, right? If I punch with my right hand, obviously the quickest way to my shoulder is to move to my right, because there's a body there to the left, right? If I punch with my left, then the quickest way to my shoulder is to the left, because there's a body to the right, right? If I throw a right kick, then the best way to enter, again, to the right, because, well, there's a body to the left. Okay, so there's no rocket science behind it, right? Doesn't matter what's going on, you can figure out this instantly. Just figure which side doesn't have a body in front of it. That's the side you want to move. Okay. Thank you for checking out today's Tactical Tuesday. We are keeping this a slightly shorter episode because it is getting pretty warm in here. I'll be back again tomorrow for some Wisdom Wednesday. For now, have a good night and stay hydrated, please.